Hey guys, it's Miss Tremlett. It's so good to see everybody. I am really impressed with all the work that you guys are doing at home. I know a lot of us have been looking to practice some math, enjoying our science and social studies. I was really excited to see all of your digraphs that you found in your kitchen as well. Today, we are going to focus on a strategy we used a lot in school. I know my friends, when we were adding and subtracting in our classroom, we loved using the HTO place value chart to add 3-digit numbers. Pour mes étudiants qui parlent français, vous utilisez la stratégie de mathématiques avec le HTO, 110-1. So we're going to use our HTO chart. This is just a review of what we used to do in class. And the best part about this strategy is you get to draw numbers. So the thing you need to do today's math is a piece of paper. Here's mine. Some markers or something to write with, maybe a pen or a pencil. I found a dice while looking through my game boards. You don't need a dice if you don't have it at home, okay? So just the pencil and paper if you don't have dice. So go ahead, pause the video and see if you can find those materials. All right, so if you have your materials, our objective today is to use the HTO chart to add and subtract 3-digit numbers. Your first step is you're going to take your paper and you're going to fold it in half like this. Let's go ahead, fold it in half. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fold that half in half again, like this. So now you should have 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good? Great. Okay. For friends who don't have dice, I'm going to ask you to write the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's add a 7 in there, just why not? I know die only go up to 6, but we're gonna add a 7 in ours. So I wrote it in the bottom box of my 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So if you don't have dice, go ahead and write those numbers there. That's going to be like your dice. Okay, let's set up our HTO charts. What you need to do is you're going to take whatever you're using to write, draw 2 lines down the first rectangle like this. And then you're going to draw 1 line across the top. And in here, we're going to write HTO, HTO for hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay, go ahead. So when you're finished, it should look like this. Now, I've decided that I'm going to make my first box addition. So I'm going to split my HTO in half like this. If you want to do addition first, go ahead and split your HTO in half because we're going to draw our first number here, second number here. Okay. I found dice, so I'm going to use dice first. If you don't have dice, you just point to a number and use that. So I'm going to roll my dice. This is going to be for how many hundreds I draw. Okay, I have 1. Now, before we start, I need to review how you draw your numbers. For hundreds, we draw them like this. They're called a flat, and it's just like a square. So I rolled a 1, so I'm going to draw 1 flat on my HTO. Tens are a rod. These are the easiest, in my opinion, to draw because they're just a line down like a rod. So this is a tens rod when you draw your number. And then ones are a unit. They're just like this small circle. It kind of looks like an O ones. This is what we'll draw when we draw our ones. Okay, so I rolled a 1 for my hundreds. Just as a reminder, it's a flat. So I'm gonna draw 1 flat in my HTO at the top. So this is what this looks like. Now I'm gonna roll my dice again for the tens. Remember the tens are the rods. Here are our tens. So we want to draw however many rods that I roll. I rolled 6, so I'm going to draw 6 rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. Now be very careful. I know we used tally marks a lot in class. You don't cross out your tens rods when you're working in an HTO chart. So I made my 6 separate rods at the top of my tens. All right, let's try our ones. I got 5 ones, so I'm going to draw these in a 10 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. So my ones units, I rolled 5 of them, so they go like this, like I was filling in a 10 frame. If you roll over 5, remember you make your next 5 next to it like this. Okay, I'm gonna use my numbers on my page for my second number at the bottom of my HTO chart. So I'm gonna look away, point to a number. I pointed to the number 3, so I'm going to draw 3 hundredths flats from my bottom number, like this. All right, now I'm going to look away, point to another number. I pointed to 7, so I'm gonna draw 7 tens rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, I didn't cross them out like tally marks because it's going to be really important that I count them all together when I go to add. Okay. Now I'm gonna look away, point to my number. I pointed to a 2, so I'm going to draw 2 ones units in my ones. Now I'm ready to do my addition. All right, I'm gonna choose a different color when I go to add. What we practiced in school is you always, always, always start in the ones. So I'm going to go ahead, look at those ones units, and I'm gonna count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the question we always asked ourselves in class is this number bigger than 10? 7 is not bigger than 10, so I know I can write my 7 at the bottom of my ones as a part of my answer. Okay, now I'm gonna start in the tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold on, pause. I found 10 tens rods. That means I need to circle those 10 tens rods and regroup to make 100. So I'm gonna count 10 tens rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna circle those. I like to recheck and recount just to make sure that I'm getting the right answer. So I'm gonna recount right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I know I've circled the right amount. Once you've circled your 10 tens rods, if you have 10 in your tens column, you cross it out. And now I make 1 new 100 because I've regrouped those 10 tens to make 100. Now I count the tens that are left. I have 1, 2, 3 tens left. So I'm just gonna write below the tens the number that I have left in that column, because now it's time to count the hundreds, and I will count my new regrouped 100 here. Here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 hundreds. So I know my answer in this addition problem is 537. Let's focus on just addition this week with using the HTO chart. We'll come back next week and we'll practice what it looks like with subtraction. Your next step is to set up your HTO chart in your empty squares and practice 2 more times using this strategy. I know that we had a lot of HTO princes and princesses in our classes when we used this. It was one of our favorite strategies to use for math. I hope you enjoy this review of one of our strategies. I'm missing you guys, and I hope you have an awesome day. It's so beautiful and sunny outside. Maybe go outside for a 6 feet apart walk. Bye, friends.